The wave of celebrities and non-celebrities who are leaving things like secularism, atheism, or other religions for Christianity continues to grow. And this is an amazing thing to see. Let's continue to talk about it. Just yesterday, I did a video on Alex O'Connor reacting to the wave of people who are pursuing Christianity in response to secularism, humanism, atheism, things like that. And the wave continues. And there's an amazing conversation I saw on Tim Pool's podcast with rapper M.I.A. I think her real name is M.I.A. She has had some controversy, to say the least, in her life and in her career, and has some controversial views and stuff, but she has decided to espouse Christianity. She was baptized even, and her story on that is very interesting, and I've got some thoughts about that, but I'm not going to cover all that today. Either way, her pursuit of Christianity is very fascinating. It's a very amazing and revealing conversation.
I had a very similar experience where I was an atheist. Christ offered me the only structure and joy to chaos that this world gives you, and it was happening up into lockdowns. As you're also noticing, like you were talking about technology and like this totalitarian techno world we're in, they're trying to become God and they're trying to be omniscient. You know,
yes.
Whereas like there's an ancient omniscience that I was now believing in because it's the only way to push back against this fake omniscience in the world.
Exactly.
But you also recently got baptized.
Last summer, yeah.
Last summer.
Yep.
A lot of people.
We're in a revival, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of people come into this studio who are, oh yeah, you know, I found Christ and things like that. Or more specifically that.
Well, it makes sense.
So real quick, notice that he says that Christianity gave him the best life. The best system for the chaos that was his life. And this is what Ayaan Hirsi Ali was saying. She goes, you're saying that atheism needs to be the dominant belief, but it's not even delivering good lives for people. It's not delivering meaning to people. And Richard Dawkins' answer was, well, why should it? Again, we are humans who are clearly, it is ingrained in us, this desire for meaning, for purpose, for fulfillment in life. And just to say, well, there is none, is clearly not meeting human needs. So there must be something else out there that can deliver, and that which delivers is Christianity. So therefore, the fact that it works is also a testament to the truth of it. It's just a truth that a lot of people are wanting to deny.
It makes sense. It gives you peace now because I don't know where else to find it. I mean, even Hinduism, I have a lot of people around me who are. It's chaotic, you know, and therapy doesn't have the answer. Science doesn't really have the answer. And you know, science is a study to me, but it's not the answer, you know. And
yeah, Alex O'Connor actually made a point about this. What is science there to do? Well, there's a Christian perspective, but Alex O'Connor made a good point. He said, if I walked into a lab and people were trying to figure out how many molecules were in a vial, and I said, okay, I have the answer for that. Let me read you a poem. Right? That clearly is not a scientific answer. And the same thing is inappropriate when someone is trying to find the meaning to life. And Richard Dawkins says, here's science, right? Science doesn't have that. It's not what it delivers on. It's not what it does. So science has its place. It has its purpose. But just science alone, making this all secular science, is clearly not enough. And it doesn't have the answers for what human beings need.
I was very, very, very judgmental. My mum was a Christian for a long is, and I was very judgmental and always felt like, you know, I'm an intellectual and I look down at Christians as something you know, like naive people followed because they had nothing else, you know. But I don't think that anymore.
The weirdest,
yeah, and that's very common. That's what I was told growing up myself. That's what I saw growing up. People, I mean, we have outgrown religion. I hear people say this, and it is now hilarious to see. We have outgrown religion. We are so smart now. We have so much knowledge. We don't need all this hoopla, all of this mumbo jumbo. If it makes you feel better, you got to lie to yourself. Go ahead and do that. The rest of us, we're all living in this happy reality that is grounded in facts and truth. And oh, I guess you got to lie to yourself to feel good about your life. Guess what? The people who say that there is no objective meaning, no objective morality, none of that stuff, they're not very happy with their lives themselves by their own admission so much of the time. It is an absolute despairing thing that is antithetical to what human needs are. Again, maybe the belief system that doesn't answer the greatest human needs is no good belief system to follow. maybe there is truth in the one that actually does answer these things and delivers for daily life.
The weirdest thing to me is that people will lie and claim I'm an atheist. I don't understand it.
You've said, I mean, I've heard you say it hundreds of times that you're not an atheist.
There's never been an instance where we've done a show where I have ever said I'm atheist or I don't believe in God.
I think you've even said the story many times of like going to a skater's house and seeing the painting of Jesus and asking him like, what's up with that? And like him giving you that nuance that perhaps we don't all have.
There are atheists who do the right thing as well sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And,
for sure.
And they don't know why they do what they do, but they that's okay. Like for example, Julian Assange, I would say he's like that. You know, he's like my dad.
He's an atheist.
He's an atheist.
Got to talk to him. He's wrong.
So there's people that do the right thing that are atheists. And I love what she said. They don't even know why. Ask an atheist why, and they'll give you a reason that is not objective. They'll say, well, it's because humans, they'll give a reason that is either not objective or is borrowed from religion, from Christianity. They'll say, well, I mean, human lives matter. Why do they matter? That's a religious belief. That's a Christian belief that humans matter. We believe that because humans are made in the image of God. Well, why is it good to love your wife? Well, because, I mean, it's good to love. Love makes things better. Why is it good for things to be better? Why is it that we have this desire, but animals don't have that desire? Animals don't play by those rules. And I would say, well, we're higher evolved forms than the animals. But again, if there is no God out there, if there is no meaning, then why follow that at all? And you get into the moral argument, all kinds of things. It's just a terrible, terrible and empty way to live your life, because you're doing something and suffering for something and you have no idea why you are even doing that in the first place. Suffering for doing the right thing, for example.
People find the drive and the will and the energy from somewhere to do what they do. And, you know, he went up against things that is a very selfless cause, you know. It's like he doesn't benefit from what he did. You know, he was trying to speak.
They're talking about Julian Assange, by the way, who's been like exiled. He has to be pardoned for him to be able to live normal life.
About pointless deaths of some journalists, which will affect many, many journalists, but doesn't really, you know, he had no gain. It's not like he was going to end up with $1 billion tech company at the end of it, you know. And a lot of people in that time did. Like loads of people became billionaires off tech companies, yet this man didn't, you know. So he was willed from something.
What is the purpose in acting selflessly? There are people who make the arguments, well, it's because it benefits me selfishly when I act selflessly. That seems to be a contradiction, number one, but it doesn't. How has Julian Assange been benefited by his selflessness? How? If you say, oh, well, when I love my wife, then she is nice to me and she makes me food and all that. Again, that is the framework that you want to live your life off of? That is what you want to hear, right? Maybe as wedding vows, atheists should say this to one another. I vow to love you in sickness and in health, for rich or for poor. And just so we're clear, it's all because this will bring a lot of benefits to me. I will have someone to share a bed with. I'll have someone who will make me food, who will wash my clothes, who will love me, who will give me children that selfishly, if I take care of them, they'll take care of me when I'm old. Is that the kind of person you want to marry? Does that sound like what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to think as humans? No, because that's not who we are. And that's not how this works. Clearly, there is a major problem with secular society, with secular thinking. And clearly, those who are discovering Christianity and now living in Christianity are tapping into something that is real. And more people need to be paying attention to this. But let me know what you think. Maybe I'm a crackpot about all this. Maybe my analysis is all wrong. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider supporting on Patreon. God bless you. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.